doing well. In the last class, we have seen rest and motion are relative, and we have seen scalar and vector quantities, and we have also seen differences between distance and displacement. We have done some numericals also. In this class, in this video, you are going to get the answers of what is a uniform motion and what is a non-uniform motion, what is speed, what is average speed, instantaneous speed, uniform speed, non-uniform speed. Such things you are going to learn. Let us see first uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So you all know very well, uniform means same, non-uniform not same, right? Let us go into the definition first. A body has, before that let me tell you one thing. We have learned a body is said to be in motion if its position is changing continuously with a reference point or with time, right? But to describe a motion, we must know two things. Firstly, whether the body is moving fast or slow, and secondly, where is the body and where it is going to go in the future. These two things are very important for describing the motion. So let us see here the definition of uniform motion. A body has a uniform motion if it travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, howsoever small these time intervals may be. I will start with an example of a car traveling, an Ola car traveling on a highway, NH5. So let us say this car covered a distance of 50 km in 1 hour. In the next 1 hour also, let us say it covered 50 kilometers. Now see what's happening. Equal distances in equal intervals of time. 1 hour, 1 hour. Then we can call. In the next 1 hour also it will travel 50 kilometers. Then we can say this car is moving in uniform motion. If you let us take a small interval also. For example, for 1 hour 50 kilometers, for half an hour 25 kilometers, for 15 minutes 12.5 kilometers. So if the car is going in that way, we will definitely say it is moving in uniform motion. At this point, I would also like to introduce graphs to you. Graphs, you have already learned graphs from class 6 onwards. So graphs gives very good idea about the motion, right? On y-axis, let us say I have taken distance, and on x-axis I take time. These two things changes along x and y-axis respectively. So you can see here at time 0, the car is at starting position. There is no displacement, so it is here. After 1 hour, it traveled 50 kilometers. Let us say this is 50. After second hour, you can see here again I'll take second hour, this is second hour, and you can look at this. This is 100. So it is covering for equal time, equal distances are covered. Right? So you will see that in the graph there is a straight line making some angle with the x-axis. This is what you will see in the graph if a body is moving in uniform motion. If the body is moving in non-uniform, what does it mean? Let us see. A body has a non-uniform motion if it travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time, howsoever small the time interval may be. So what does it mean? Let us see an example. Same Ola car traveling, it covered let us say 30 km in first hour, and next 1 hour it travels 60 km. Look at now, see here unequal distances are covered in equal intervals of time. Then we call the body is said to be in non-uniform motion. In the next 1 hour, probably it can travel either 50 km or 80 km. If that thing happens, then this car is said to be in non-uniform motion. I would like to give one more practical example which you can understand very easily. Let us say you are traveling in a train. When you are at your own station, departure station, the train is at rest. Once the train starts moving, then the speed increases, and when it is again stopping at another station, the speed decreases. So again, this is an example of a non-uniform motion. Let us say I drop this chalk piece from this height to the ground. As it is going down, its speed is not remaining same, it is actually increasing. It's going faster and faster. So again, the motion of this chalk piece is a non-uniform motion, right? So generally the graphs for non-uniform motion would not be straight, it will be curved. It will be curved, right? So you can see here, for equal intervals of time, the distances covered, you can see the distances covered is different. Unequal distances are covered for equal intervals of time. You can see here again, I'll take one more time interval, you can see here. The distances covered are different because on y-axis I'm taking distance. You can see the intervals of distance is different for same intervals of time. So it's because this is a curved line for non-uniform motion. Hope you understood about uniform and non-uniform motion. Now we'll learn about the physical quantity speed. Speed, it gives us an idea of how fast or slow the object is moving. As I told you earlier, to describe motion, it's very important to understand whether an object is moving fast or slow. So this is the quantity which tells us whether an object is moving fast or slow. Let me tell you friends, when two objects are moving side by side, it's very easy to tell which object is moving faster or slower. When they are moving in different times at different places, then it's very important to understand how to calculate their speed. So let us say, for example, a car driver covers 80 kilometers in 1 hour and the second driver covers 50 kilometers in 1 hour. Who is faster? Your answer is the person who covered 80 kilometers in 1 hour. So this is the equation, or this is the understanding. Speed of a body is the distance traveled by it per unit time. Unit time is the basic time which we are taking, that is 1 second or 1 hour. Larger unit is 1 hour and SI unit is second, right? The speed formula is, speed is given by the formula distance by time. Distance traveled by the object upon time taken for it, right? This is the formula. Let me tell you, speed is represented with V, not with S like your lower classes or in mathematics. Speed is represented with V and distance is represented with S. So it is V is equal to S by T. One more important thing, speed is scalar quantity, not vector quantity, because it does not have any direction, right? Now we'll go into the unit. The SI units are meter per second, or sometimes in the books it is written as ms inverse. Again, S inverse means upon, meter upon second. The larger units are kilometer per hour, or it is written this way also, kilometer h inverse. Or small units are given as, or CGS units are given as centimeter per second. Sometimes when, let us say, a bus or a train is traveling, we can't measure the distance in centimeters or meters, so we use the unit kilometers. Kilometer, the speed also is measured in kilometer per hour, not meter per second. So we need to convert the units from SI to CGS, CGS to SI. How to convert the unit kilometer per hour to meter per second? We have the conversion factor. Kilometer per hour can be converted into meter per second if we multiply with the factor 5 by 18. How this has come? It's very simple. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter divided by 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So 1000 divided by 3600, you simplify it, you get 5 by 18. So when you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, you got to multiply with 5 by 18 factor. So you can see example, 36 into 5 by 18, you get 10 meter per second. Hope you already know this, right? Similarly, meter per second can be converted into kilometer per hour by multiplying with the factor 18 by 5. Right? Hope this is very clear about units of speed. Now we are going to learn the types of speed. So let's see the list first. Uniform speed or constant speed, non-uniform speed or variable speed, average speed and instantaneous speed. We are going to learn all these four. First, we'll start with uniform speed or constant speed. The name itself, uniform, same, constant. Already we talked about this in uniform motion. When a body is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time, we say the body is traveling in uniform motion. Same thing applies here also. For uniform speed also, let us say a car is traveling at it is covering, let us say, 60 kilometers in 1 hour, 30 kilometers in half an hour, 15 kilometers in 15 minutes. So it's traveling in uniform motion. If let us say the car is traveling 1 hour, in 1 hour it is covering, let us say, 60 kilometers, and half an hour 40 kilometers, 15 minutes it is covering, let us say, some 20 kilometers. So now the car is said to be in non-uniform motion, right? Because unequal distances are covered in equal intervals of time. We'll try to take an example of this. Let us say there is a car. Okay, this let us say in 1 hour, this is the time of 1 hour, it has covered, let us say, 30 kilometer or let us 60 kilometer. In the next 1 hour, the car covered, let us say, only 40 kilometer. And in next 1 hour, let us say the car covered only 20 kilometer. Now you can see the car is covering unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Then I say this car is traveling with non-uniform speed or variable speed. Hope it's very clear about uniform speed and non-uniform speed. Now let us come to this average speed. Let me tell you, my dear friends, if we say that a car is traveling at 50 km per hour, it does not mean that in that entire hour, every time the car would have moved with a speed of 50 km per hour. Let us say the car, when it is traveling, suddenly let us say a dog has come in the way, it will apply brakes. When it is applied brakes, speed will decrease and it will always come to rest. So there the speed is 0. So it's no more 50 km per hour. So you can't say that it is traveling every time with same speed when a body like train or car or some vehicle is traveling. So in such situations, we don't use the words uniform speed, we use the word average speed. We specifically use the term average speed. What it means is, when the body is at different times it had different speed, then we go with this concept of average speed. That is, average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. I'll take an example to make you understand. Let us say a train started from Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad. Let us say the distance between Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad is around some 720 kilometer, and let us say it took 12 hours. This is the distance and the time taken is 12 hours. So you all know very well, always the trains are at rest in stations, so speed is 0. And when there's no more station until very long distance, it will travel sometimes very fast. Sometimes when it have a signal, red signal in between, so it will stop there. So it is not traveling every time with the same speed, it is traveling with different speeds. So let's apply the concept of average speed here. So average speed is equal to total distance is 720 and time taken is 12, it is 60 km per hour. So the average speed of train is 60 km per hour, but it does not mean that every time it is traveling with same speed, right? That is about average speed. Last one, instantaneous speed. What it means: the speed of a body at any instant of time of observation during its motion. That's called as instantaneous speed. For example, in your vehicles, there is bike or car, a scooty, everything there's a device called as speedometer. That speedometer actually tells what is the speed of the vehicle at that instant. So there is one more device called as odometer. It tells us about the distance traveled by the body. So if we can calculate the time and we know the distance here, we can calculate the speed of the vehicle also, or that is about average speed, and instantaneous speed can be calculated by speedometer. Right, let us see some numericals now. Ready? Let's see the first numerical. This is a very simple one, probably you might have done in class 7 or 8. Let's see how far you would do this. Let us say a motorcyclist. He covered a distance of 1.5 kilometer in 2.5 minutes. You have to calculate the speed in meter per second as well as kilometer per hour. Okay, two things. You have to calculate speed in this, you have to find out in meter per second as well as kilometer per hour. You have to give the answer. Right? You can pause the video and you can solve it, and later you can see, you can verify it. Right? Now I will tell you the answer solution. Speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. So the distance is 1.5 kilometer. Now see people, you have to convert kilometers to meters when you are doing in meter per second. So distance traveled is 1.5 kilometer, right? So I would convert that into meter first. So it is 1500 meter and 2.5 minutes into seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. 2.5 minutes, 2.5 into 60. So it is 150 seconds. So I got the values in meter per seconds. Okay, so distance is 1500, time is 150 seconds. So I got the value 10 meter per second. So this is the speed value in meter per second. Okay, speed is equal to distance. Now second part is we have to find out speed in kilometer per hour. There are two ways of doing it. So already we know the distance given in 1 kilometers. Minutes should be converted into hours. Okay, that is one way. 2.5 minutes will convert into hours. 2.5 you have to divide with 60 because 1 hour is 60 minutes. So when you are converting minutes into hours, so you have to divide with 60. 2.5 is 60, it is 1 by 24 hour. So now let us calculate speed. Speed is equal to distance is 1.5 kilometer by time, that is 1 by 24. So you are going to get this 24 into 1.5, which is nothing but 36 kilometer per hour. This is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, we already know the speed in meter per second, that can be converted into kilometer per hour by a conversion factor 18 by 5. So let us see that. Speed given 10 meter per second, 10 meter per second into 18 by 5, 5 ones are 5 twos are, it is 36 kilometer per hour. Hope you understood this also. Car is covering it is covering, let us say, 20 kilometer with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour, and in the second part of journey it is covering a distance 40 kilometer with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour. Then what is the average speed of the car? Right, now we are going to find out the average speed. To find out average speed, we require total distance and total time. Total distance is very clear, that is 20 plus 40 kilometer. First part of journey it covered 20 kilometer, second part of the journey 40, totally 60 kilometer per hour, 60 kilometer we got to find out the total time, which is not mentioned in the question, right? So what we'll do, first we'll find out time in each part of the journey, right? When the car is moving with a speed of 60 km per hour to cover a distance of 20 km, this is the first part of the journey. So let us calculate the total time t1. So here we know time is equal to distance by speed. Distance is given 20, speed is 60. So we get 1/3 of an hour, right? Similarly, in the second part, when the car is moving with a speed of 80 km per hour to cover the distance of 40 km, in that case again, distance is 40 and speed is 80. So you can see it is half an hour. So we know T1 and T2 values now. So we know total time also. Total time is equal to T1 plus T2, 1/3 plus 1/2. So you are going to get 5/6 of an hour on adding both of them, right? So the average speed is equal to total distance by total time. Total distance we know that is around 60 km and time is 5/6. So on doing this, 60 into 6/5. So it is 72 km per hour. 5 ones are 5 12s are 12 6 are 72 km per hour. So that is the average speed. Hope you understood it. Friends, in this numerical, let us say a bus is traveling at a speed of 60 km per hour for a time 0.52 hours. That means less than 1 hour. And it is traveling, for the second part of the journey, it is traveling with a speed of 70 km per hour for a time 0.7 hours. So now our task is to find out what is the average speed of that bus. Okay. So we know that to calculate the average speed, total distance and total time is required. In our question, total time is given. We have time, but we don't know total distance. So what we will do, in each part of the journey, we will calculate the distance. Then we get distance in both the journeys. We'll add up. Then we get the total distance. Then we get the average speed. So let's see. So this is the case 1. Speed 60 km per hour. Time t1 0.52 hours. Since this is first case, I mentioned that with 1. So distance formula is speed into time. So speed is given 60 into 0.52. You are going to get 31.2 kilometer on calculating it. Let us see case 2. In case 2, speed is given 70 km per hour and time is 0.7 hour. Let us multiply that. Then we get you are going to, in case 2, the bus was traveling with a speed of 70 km per hour in some time 0.7 hours. So the distance traveled by the body will be, speed is equal to distance into time. Distance equal to speed into time. Speed is 70, time is 0.71. On multiplying, we are going to get 49.7 km. Now we have distance in both the cases. So let's add both the distances. We get the total distance. The total distance is S1 plus S2. We get 31.2 plus 49.7. If we add both of them, we get 49.7 plus 31.2. It's 9. 80.9 kilometers. Right? So we know already we know total time 0.52 hour in first case and 0.71 hour in the second case. On adding both of them, we get 1.23 hour. So it is, now we'll calculate the average speed. Total distance 4.9 kilometer by the total time is 1.23 hour. On calculating, we are going to get the answer 65.77 kilometer per hour. Hope you have understood how to do these numericals. I'm going to give a few more at the end of the video or after this slide. Hope you will do that, and please write in your notebook along with the date and your parents' sign. Right, thank you.